Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. Today, we are diving into a powerful concept that can change the way you approach challenges, learning, and success: a growth mindset. Developing a growth mindset allows you to embrace failures, see setbacks as opportunities, and continuously improve yourself. So, let's break it down and learn how you can cultivate this mindset in your daily life. First, let's define what a growth mindset is. The term was coined by psychologist Carol Dweck and refers to the belief that our abilities, intelligence, and talents are not set in stone, but can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. This perspective encourages resilience, adaptability, and a willingness to embrace challenges. In contrast, a fixed mindset is the belief that our abilities are static and unchangeable. People with this mindset often think that intelligence or talent is something you either have or don't, leading them to avoid challenges that might expose their weaknesses. For example, imagine two students preparing for a math exam. One with a fixed mindset might say, "I'm just bad at math, so there's no point in trying." The other, with a growth mindset, would think, "Math is difficult for me now, but if I practice and put in the effort, I can improve." The key difference lies in their approach. One sees difficulty as a dead end, while the other sees it as an opportunity to grow. This mindset shift applies to all areas of life, from academics to career development, sports, and even personal relationships. Whether you're learning a new language, starting a business, or trying to develop a new habit, having a growth mindset allows you to persist through setbacks and see them as part of the learning process rather than as failures. By understanding this fundamental difference, you can start recognizing when a fixed mindset might be holding you back and actively work towards embracing a growth-oriented perspective. Now, let's dive deeper into how you can cultivate this mindset in your daily life. One of the first steps to building a growth mindset is embracing challenges. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks out of fear of failure, view them as valuable opportunities to expand your skills and knowledge. Struggling with something new doesn't mean you're incapable. It simply means you're in the process of learning. Think of it like building physical strength. When you start lifting weights, your muscles feel sore and tired, but over time, with consistent effort, they grow stronger. The same principle applies to your brain. The more you challenge yourself, whether it's learning a new language, solving complex problems, or developing a creative skill, the more your abilities expand. Take, for example, someone learning to play the piano. At first, reading sheet music and coordinating both hands may feel overwhelming. A person with a fixed mindset might think, "I'm just not musically talented," and give up. But someone with a growth mindset will acknowledge the difficulty, practice consistently, and see their progress over time. The key is to reframe your perspective on difficulty. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, recognize them as stepping stones toward improvement. Each mistake, each moment of struggle, is proof that you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, and that's where real growth happens. Another important aspect of developing a growth mindset is learning from failure. Instead of seeing failure as proof that you're not good enough, reframe it as valuable feedback, a necessary part of progress. Every mistake you make is an opportunity to refine your approach, improve your skills, and ultimately get closer to success. Think of a child learning to walk. They fall repeatedly, but they don't stop trying. Each fall teaches them how to balance better, adjust their movements, and keep going. If they had a fixed mindset, they might think, "Walking isn't for me," and give up. But they don't, because failure is simply part of learning. This principle applies to all aspects of life. Thomas Edison, for example, famously failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he didn't see them as wasted effort, but as lessons that brought him one step closer to success. Similarly, Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, has openly admitted to missing thousands of shots, losing hundreds of games, and even failing to make his high school basketball team. Yet, he didn't let failure define him. He used it to push himself harder. The key is to analyze each failure objectively. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? What lessons can I take from this experience? By approaching failure with curiosity rather than self-judgment, you transform setbacks into stepping stones. Instead of being discouraged, you become more resilient and adaptable, qualities that are essential for long-term success. Effort is another crucial element in developing a growth mindset. People who embrace this mindset understand that success isn't just about talent, it's about dedication, persistence, and consistent practice. While natural ability can provide a head start, it's sustained effort that leads to true mastery. Think about elite athletes, musicians, or successful entrepreneurs. While many may have started with some innate ability, their real achievements came from years of disciplined effort. Take Serena Williams, for example. She wasn't simply born a tennis champion. She spent thousands of hours training, refining her technique, and pushing her limits. Similarly, great writers don't produce masterpieces overnight. They write, revise, and learn from their mistakes until their work reaches its full potential. The same principle applies to everyday life. If you're learning a new language, you won't become fluent just by knowing a few words. You have to practice speaking, listening, and making mistakes. If you want to get better at public speaking, the only way to improve is by repeatedly stepping in front of an audience, analyzing what worked, and refining your approach. Effort isn't just about working hard, it's about working smart. Instead of simply repeating the same actions, reflect on what strategies are most effective and adjust your approach accordingly. Growth happens when you embrace the process, trust in gradual improvement, and remind yourself that every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Seeking feedback and learning from others is also essential in developing a growth mindset. It's easy to take criticism personally, but when approached with the right perspective, feedback becomes one of the most valuable tools for self-improvement. Instead of seeing it as an attack, view it as guidance, an opportunity to refine your skills and gain new insights. Think about top athletes, artists, or business leaders. They don't reach the peak of their success alone. They rely on coaches, mentors, and peers who provide honest feedback, helping them identify weaknesses and build on their strengths. For example, even the most accomplished musicians still take lessons and seek input from others to continue refining their craft. Surrounding yourself with people who inspire and challenge you is just as important. If you're always the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Growth happens when you engage with individuals who push you to think differently, encourage you to improve, and provide perspectives you may not have considered. Whether it's joining a mastermind group, working with a mentor, or simply having honest conversations with friends who motivate you, the people around you can have a profound impact on your mindset. Additionally, maintaining a sense of curiosity fuels continuous learning. The most successful people never assume they have all the answers. They ask questions, explore new ideas, and remain open to learning from anyone, regardless of their experience level. When you cultivate a mindset of lifelong learning, every interaction, every challenge, and every piece of feedback becomes an opportunity to grow and evolve. Another powerful way to foster a growth mindset is by using positive self-talk. The way you speak to yourself directly impacts your motivation, confidence, and resilience. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try shifting your words to, "I can't do this yet." That simple adjustment changes the focus from inability to potential, reinforcing the idea that improvement is always possible with effort and time. Think of a child learning to ride a bike. If they fall and say, "I'll never get this," they might give up. But if they tell themselves, "I'm still learning. If I keep practicing, I'll get better," they're more likely to push through the struggle and eventually succeed. The same applies to any skill or challenge in life. Whether it's mastering a new language, improving at public speaking, or developing a healthier lifestyle, the words you use shape your mindset and influence your actions. Positive self-talk isn't about ignoring difficulties or pretending things are easy. It's about reframing challenges in a way that empowers you to keep going. Instead of saying, "I always mess up," try, "Mistakes help me learn." Instead of thinking, "I'm not good at this," remind yourself, "I'm improving with practice." These small language shifts create a mindset that embraces growth rather than fearing failure. The key is to be mindful of your inner dialogue. When negative thoughts arise, pause and reframe them. Progress takes time, and setbacks are part of the journey. By speaking to yourself with patience and encouragement, you build the resilience needed to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles. Finally, celebrate progress, no matter how small. Acknowledging your achievements, even the minor ones, reinforces a growth mindset by reminding you that effort leads to improvement. When you take the time to recognize how far you've come, you stay motivated and build confidence in your ability to keep moving forward. Think of progress like climbing a mountain. If you only focus on how far you still have to go, the journey can feel overwhelming. But if you pause to look back at how much ground you've already covered, you gain a sense of accomplishment that fuels your determination to continue. Celebrating progress doesn't mean waiting for big milestones. It's about appreciating every step along the way. If you're learning a new language, celebrate the fact that you understood a conversation even if you didn't speak perfectly. If you're working on fitness goals, acknowledge your increased endurance even if you haven't reached your ultimate target yet. Small wins add up, and recognizing them helps reinforce the belief that growth is possible. Whether it's through journaling, sharing your progress with supportive friends, or simply taking a moment to appreciate your hard work. Finding ways to celebrate your achievements keeps you engaged and motivated. By focusing on effort and progress rather than just the end result, you strengthen the belief that you can achieve more. A growth mindset isn't about instant success. It's about the journey of continuous learning, persistence, and self-improvement. Keep going and remember that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. Now, here's a challenge for you. This week, whenever you encounter a difficult task, pause and reframe your perspective. Instead of feeling discouraged or doubting yourself, say, "This is an opportunity to grow." Notice how this small shift in mindset changes your reaction. Do you feel more motivated to keep going? Do you approach the situation with curiosity instead of frustration? For example, if you struggle with learning a new skill at work or in school, rather than thinking, "I'm just not good at this," remind yourself, "I'm still learning, and every mistake is helping me improve." If you receive constructive criticism, instead of feeling defensive, see it as valuable feedback that can help you grow. Pay close attention to how your mindset affects your emotions, actions, and overall experience. Do you feel more confident, more resilient, more willing to push through discomfort? Keep track of your observations and reflect on how adopting a growth mindset influences your progress. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Share your thoughts on how this challenge impacts your daily life and what lessons you take away from it. Growth is a journey, and every small shift in mindset brings you one step closer to unlocking your full potential. Keep going. You're on the right path. That's all for today's episode. Remember, building a growth mindset takes time and practice, but the rewards are life-changing. Stay patient with yourself, keep pushing forward, and embrace challenges as stepping stones to success. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who could benefit. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.